All right, Coach. Man, we talked about it last week. We're hoping we were here this week doing this. Campus, we're all fired up here. The staff, obviously you guys, the players. So exciting. I mean, getting you back to the playoffs now. First time Lindenwood's been in postseason play since 2012, and your guys' first taste of it here in St. Charles. So tell me about your emotions. I mean, there's so much going on and so much to break down. But first of all, how you feeling?
Well, I feel good. Now it's just kind of into game week. It almost feels like just you got another game. Sunday was awesome. And, playoff football is just – I've told the kids right when I got here, like, to aspire to do this because I said you'll never you'll never experience anything like a playoff atmosphere. And so now we're in it. We got to celebrate Sunday when we found out that we're in it together. And then it really just kind of triggered the normal week, Monday meeting and practice and game planning. And so, some of the behind the scenes stuff that's tough. We, usually you plan our trips 3 or 4 months in advance in the summertime and, for our season. Mm-hmm. So now you're doing everything within a day,
Sure.
Buses, hotels, food, all that stuff. So that's kind of the crazy work. Sometimes it's more than the football part, but special moment for our program and our kids. And looking at those faces of Darius and Ricky McCoy and Ajay, and I mean just going down the list of guys that were here when we got here that hadn't had a winning season, hadn't had a taste of a conference championship, to see their excitement on Sunday in their faces of, hey, we did this and we have this opportunity, was special.
Yeah, it was a cool moment, and to be able to see what you guys did Saturday, taking care of business at Southwest Baptist, and then us, you guys are obviously focused on the game, but us as the broadcasters and the stat guys can kind of keep an eye on the scoreboard. You see Grand Valley State fall, Henderson State going to the end of it against Ouachita Baptist, which ended up being a big game with Ouachita Baptist beating them, and we obviously making it on Sunday. And the reactions for the guys to see that emotion, I got a chance to be in that room, which was awesome, and film their reactions to seeing the name Lindenwood University on there for the playoffs. It was such a cool feeling. It's something that I know the university's pumped up about. Yeah, man, just special. It takes a lot of people. I mean, the support of
Brad, our AD, just when we got here, and just the support from our administration and him and guys like you and everybody. I mean, this is a team effort. I mean,
Sure.
Covering us like you guys do and getting our product out there. There's so many more people. Sometimes the head coach gets a lot of credit, but I mean, there's so many people, and we're grateful for just the enthusiasm of our campus and the nice emails and our kids from professors in the classrooms of just paying attention and recognizing them. It's fun. It's special. Winning's kind of fun that way.
It's contagious.
It is. It's
absolutely contagious. So
right.
When you guys started out 1-3, we had this discussion about you came into the week and you kind of had a meeting with your players and you said, what do you guys want from us? What do you guys want us to change? What do you guys want us to keep? How can we get your opinions out there more and improve this football team? Since that meeting, you guys have won 7 straight. Now our conference champions alone went undefeated in the GLVC this year, beating big-time teams, ranked teams, and now are back in the playoffs. I mean, it seems like that was the turning point where this team has always been there. The chemistry's always been there, but that meeting especially kind of, I felt like kind of calm the players down and said, let's just go play football, and it's been working.
Well, I'm a big believer that, wisdom, humility kind of leads to wisdom. And I think, sitting and listening, sometimes, when you have so many good players and something wasn't clicking, you always want to, we just felt like we needed to hear from them a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I do think that was a big part of our turnaround because we heard things. And it was a very productive meeting. It wasn't a complain and moan. It was a constructive meeting. Like, hey, how do you guys feel? We analyzed as a staff, they analyzed as a team, and we kind of got all of our heads together. And then we kind of took out, sometimes what we're doing as a coaching staff, we're thinking to protect them. They were kind of receiving it like we were kind of pulling back and we weren't being aggressive. And it's like, you think about it, it's like, hey, this is what they want. Let's go do that. We're going to trust each other. And I do think that was pivotal. And I think it's really brought our team so much closer.
So going into this week, you mentioned, all the hype for being a playoff game. You try to keep the guys level-headed, saying just got to play football like we've been doing. That's what's been working. But obviously, emotions can get a little heightened, obviously, with a game like this coming up. So going into practice, coming in Monday, what was the feeling like on the field, and what do the guys look like working out in the field?
Well, we had a great practice. It felt a lot like Indy week. I think obviously we had some big games even before Indy, but I think because of where Indy was at and where they were ranked, our guys, even their focus and concentration was even more intense. Not in a tight way, but just, you think about even the service teams in practice, everything to make a great practice. Felt that yesterday. We're a big underdog in this game, just like we were against Indy. I think we like that role. I think our kids don't really pay attention to that. It's I think this season is we've been trial tested in the quality opponents we've played, the come from behind wins, overtime, even some losses that kind of helped us, refocus. So all those things kind of, and that's why, this first time in my career, I thought about it where, we played a team for the first time every week, just coming into a new conference. I've never had that happen before. So this week it's kind of the same old. It's like, I remember, my previous places, you play all pretty much a closed conference, and you're playing the same guys every year. You kind of have an idea who the character of that team is. Mm-hmm. But last year it was just somebody new every week.
Sure.
And so our guys got accustomed to, we'll see what they're like on the first few plays, adjust and go. And so we kind of feel like that's an advantage to us going into where it won't be a complete shock, when you're playing somebody completely new from a different conference. We've already kind of been down that road.
And when we talked in the earlier weeks of the season, you mentioned that the non-conference games, you were going to play good teams, and we saw that. And it was tough non-conference games to get you ready for a game like this, to get you ready for playoffs. Do you think like that experience, not just with the non-conference opponents, but some of the GLVC teams who were ranked and gave you guys good games, do you think that kind of helped get you guys at this point and get you prepared for a game like this?
No, absolutely. And I think we've talked about this. I don't know why, I get why some people peek over at other conferences and they already want to judge, well, this is a strong or this is a weak conference. And I know that stuff happens when people they already think they know. I mean, I've been very impressed with the GLVC. I mean, we've coached in the Northern Sun, we've coached in MIAA, and I've coached in the GLVC. And so people that want to just assume that the GLVC, this is very good football. You saw it, week in and week out. And so, I think playing the teams that we've played in our league, I mean, the Truman's the real deal. I mean, shoot, S&T's the real deal.
Sure.
You look at Indy, obviously. I mean, but then adding, Grant, Saginaw Valley, who, it was just a goal line stand away from beating Grand Valley. And Midwestern at the time, early in the year was very healthy. They were a ranked team. It was one preseason ranked team, and they had some struggles toward the end of their season. But a lot of those things. So we played quality teams, obviously Eastern Washington. So yeah, all that stuff, it really builds endurance and builds, gives you a little taste of nothing should surprise you.
Sure. Yeah. It's going to be fun to see just Lindenwood, all the recognition, whether it's social media or people talking just about the game on Saturday and getting to go and play in the first round. Real early, what do you guys see from Ouachita Baptist? Obviously, undefeated team, very poised on offense, spread the ball out a lot. It was a close one Saturday. I mean, they had to come back in the last minute and win at home to get their conference championship and to also make the playoffs and get the number 2 seed. But what's early do you see from them that they're going to bring to the table?
Well, I mean, I really respect this team. I mean, I think it'll be our biggest test to date, without a doubt. I mean, I think they're very well coached. I mean, it's it's just blue collar, old fashioned football. They they don't hide it. They want to run the football. They do a good job running the football, but they can pass the ball too. The quarterback's very can make plays with his feet too. So you got to keep him in mind when maybe the pass breaks down, he can make plays with his feet. So they're just really well coached. They got a great third down conversion, high percentage on third down. down, which tells you they win first down a lot. I always look at third down. They're in the 60s of converting third downs. Well, that's a lot to do with on first down they get 4, 5, 6 yards a lot of the time, which leads to that third down conversion rate. So I really respect them offensively. Defensively, the same deal. They're just their special teams is very good. I mean, their punter is very good. Their kicking game is good. They cover well. I think I just have a lot of respect for Coach Sharp, the way they coach and the way they the AD. We got so many names on our conference call, but just really impressed with what they do with their program, and so I just really respect teams like that. I think it's good, solid, sound football teams, and it's fun to play against. They're fun to coach against, and I really like our football team too. I think if the tables were turned, he's going to be probably recognizing they're going to see some things that they haven't seen in their conference from us, and so they're trying to figure out some things too. So I think it makes for a really good matchup.
Well, we talk about the weapons. I mean, I don't know what Division II program can look at the offense and know how you defend it, because you got different guys stepping up each time. I mean, Nash gets into top 5 in a single game, runs for 235 yards last week, and he ran the ball. Cade didn't even throw for 200 because he didn't need to. And then you have another game where the passing game gets stopped, and then Cade starts running the option, and then he gets 150 yards rushing. And then on top of that, you got 4, 5, 6 receivers that can spread it out too. So it's just so many things that can happen, and it's a nightmare for all these teams. So as Ouachita Baptist and them see this, I feel like it's almost nice to be the lower seed or the underdog, as you might call it. But I feel like Ouachita and some of these teams might say, "Oh, Lindenwood hasn't been here in a while. We'll overlook them." When they see you guys out there, they better be ready to play, because we know what the Lions can bring to the table.
Well, I think there's always that question mark anytime there's a first for something. I think what's different in times in the past when it's been even in other programs where we went to the playoffs for the first time, sometimes you can have that happy to be here. You don't know what to expect. I think what's different, I just goes back to what I said earlier. I think we've gone into hostile environments like Eastern Washington on a big stage. In the first quarter, we were a little bit wide-eyed. And then all of a sudden we settled down in the second and third, and you were there. You saw that we actually competed with them very well through the rest of that game, because once everything – so, playing some high-ranked teams, playing the last year's conference champ here at home and being able to beat a quality team like Indy here the stages have gotten like it doesn't mean it's easy, but I don't think the shock factor of hey, this is new. We've played on the road, we've won on the road, we've won in hostile environments. So I think it's I think it's something that the playoff thing isn't going to be overwhelming. I think it's another really good football team that we got to play, and we've done it before. Let's go give our best effort and let the chips fall where they may.
And that was the mindset you guys put into them early in the year, saying we're not a team that's supposed to win a few games and hopefully we get a bowl game. You guys told them right off the bat, we want to make it to the playoffs. We want to have a shot at a national championship. You guys have now got that goal. The players know that that's happened. And I think you're right. Now that you're into week 12, you have a chance to do something special, but you've already played 11 weeks of football. So you're in the mode of you've had nerves. You've had the opportunities to play against really tough teams on the road, and you guys have been able to get above that and play great football. So it's really exciting to see just what this team's done throughout the year.
Yeah, and I think also, what I feel comfortable about is, we're a team that's we've had the lead, we've lost it, had to come back. We've had the lead and finished it out. We've been behind and had to come back from behind to win. We've had to go to overtime to win a game. So, sometimes what might be new for some of the teams like Ouachita Baptist is, other than not last week, it shows you how good of a team they are and resilient to come from behind in a minute to win a game. So they've seen some of that too. But sometimes, they've played ahead a lot and stuff. So, I think, those are other things where our team has been battle tested to not panic when we go down by a touchdown or 10 points even, and just kind of stay with the grind and just keep battling. And we've kind of told our team about the Indy game and some others that, hey, this is what playoff football feels like. So, I've told them that during the game when we fell behind. Hey, nothing's going to be easy, and that's what I've told them all week is don't get discouraged because we're one of the best top 28 teams are in this thing right now.
Absolutely.
Nothing's going to be easy throughout the game, so just don't get discouraged if something doesn't go right away. Just kind of stay the course.
As far as preparation, you guys are forced to now as coaches, you guys go through each week focusing on the week at hand. We've talked about that, but in a way, the schedule a little bit in the back of your mind, what's coming up. As you said, this week you guys found out Sunday, and in less than a week we're going to strap it up and play against these guys. I mean, have there been a lot of late nights so far watching film, a lot of meetings getting ready for this team?
Well, I'm blessed. I mean, I just, Tom Williams and our football ops guy and Jarrett Grab, our D-line coach, he also helps with travel, but Tom's been awesome. I mean, it's tough to, Tom and Goose have been working quickly on Sunday afternoon and evening and Monday. The answer is yes, there has been some long nights because you got to do some of the logistic kind of stuff, but then you also got to do football. You're getting the film a little bit late. We got it Sunday evening. So, the film, usually we get it in the morning because we know the team that you're playing next. So, that just extended, Sunday and Monday's prep longer. But it's a blast. Order pizza, sit around eating pizza, talking football and X and O's. I mean, that's what I mean. There's nothing like playoffs. I mean, it's long hours, but it's so much fun. But all the leg work and stuff, I mean, Tom's done a great job. Just that's what he does. So taking a lot of that off of our coaches has been awesome. So,
and Coach, last question I got for you. As I say every week, you got good opponents all the way through. It's now playoff time, first round. You got Ouachita Baptist. What's the main thing that you want to see from your team on Saturday? Talked about consistency and obviously execution, but as far as against the Tigers, what do you want to see?
You said it. We use the word confidence and consistent. We always say in quietness and confidence will be our strength of going out, not talking a lot, just playing 4 quarters. You've heard it. It's like a broken record. 4 quarters of your best effort and let the chips fall where they may. That's all we've said since that turning point is let's not look at the scoreboard. Let's not worry about wins and losses. 4 quarters of your best effort. That's all we're asking for and let it sort itself out. We know that all the, we're going to be a major underdog and all these types of things, but at the end of the day, we deserve to be here, and our kids are looking forward to it.
Exciting time for the Lions. They'll take on the undefeated Ouachita Baptist Tigers coming up on Saturday, November 23rd at 1 p.m. That one is on the road in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. If you cannot be at the game, I know there's a couple buses going up there. Should be a lot of fans up there. But if you cannot make it to the game, you can listen to it on 89.1 The Wood or 89.1thewood.com. Coach, super exciting, man. First round of playoffs. Congratulations on making it, and we're looking forward to Saturday.
Thanks, TJ. Fun to be here. Hopefully we're doing this again.
Absolutely. We'll keep it going.